Hi, Natalie here from Better You Mortgages. So I've got the ultimate guide to purchasing and mortgaging your £1 million plus properties. Bit of a tongue twister. Have you worked out roughly where your price bracket is? Do you know where you want to be heading towards? You may have an existing property that you want to remortgage, but if you want to move up to the next property, have you roughly had a look as to where you want to be? Have you worked out how much deposit you have? Ideally, you want more than 15%. The higher you go when you're going above 500,000 borrowing, the lower the loan to value tends to get. This is because the risk becomes greater with a whole broad range of lenders, and they've all got different criteria. Where is your deposit coming from? Is it from the sale of your previous house, which is fine, that's all very provable, or have you got savings? If you're using a bonus or money from your company, it all has to be provable. Inheritance, you have to be able to show it in a bank account or a paper trail of exactly where it's come from. How many years do you have left to retirement? So average age 70, most lenders will go to age 70, especially if you want to put a proportion of it onto interest only, so that you can work out your maximum term of your mortgage. Some lenders will go to age 75, others will go up higher. Again, we can work out the best criteria for you dependent on your current age. Do you want a repayment mortgage or do you want interest only? So you might ask, why would I have an interest only mortgage? Obviously the cost is a lot cheaper. You're only paying the interest and not a capital repayment, but it might be that although this is your dream home, it's not your final home. So once the kids have grown up, moved out, you might decide that you're going to downsize again. So putting a proportion of it on interest only or all of it on interest only is fine, as long as you've got more than 200,000 equity, or you're able to downsize with the equity that's in the property, and you have to prove that in your area. So again, look around as to what you can find in your area with the equity that you've got left. If you're going to use what's the payment vehicle is going to be if you use interest only, so if you've got a large pension, you need to be able to get pension projections. You've got investments, you need to get the paperwork for that. Do you want to use a sale of the property that you're in, i.e. downsizing, or do you have other properties? And it all depends if they've got mortgages. Lots of these different factors have to be brought into the equation. Have you checked that your income can afford the size mortgage that you want? Obviously there's lots of affordability calculators out there, and we have a broad access to a lot of them, and we know how to work them and put the correct figures in. You need to work out obviously what your basic salary is, your bonuses, commissions, net profit, equity in the company. All those sorts of things can have a different influence on the borrowing that you want to do. So in that regard, when you're employed, you obviously need to get your paperwork together. So you need your 3 months wage slips, plus any wage slips that show any commission or bonus structures, or your last 2 P60s, which show that you consistently earn over and above your basic salary. If you're self-employed, i.e. sole trader, or a 20-25% shareholder or above, you need to make sure you've got accounts in place. You can do it with 1 year's accounts, preferably you want 2. And you need to get your tax calculations and tax year overviews, which you can request all from your accountant. We like to have a look at both of them so we can see which is the best one to use, because different lenders will use different things. Some lenders only look at accounts, some lenders only look at tax calculations. Have you checked your credit file? Have you checked the exact amounts you owe on loans, HPs, credit cards, the monthly payments, how long they've got left to run? Have you missed any payments on anything in the last 24 months? If you can download a copy of your credit file, we have a link in the comments below for Check My File, which you can click on there, and you can download your credit file, and that shows you Experian, Equifax and TransUnion, because different lenders again use different credit companies, and we can see exactly what they're seeing. Are all your bank statements in order? Do they look good for the past 3 months? Have you kept up to date with all payments, not let anything bounce by accident? Have you gone into your overdraft? Have you stayed in your overdraft? Have you gone over your overdraft limit? All these things are things that lenders look at, especially when you're borrowing over 500,000, because you've got to prove that you're capable of keeping it repayments on it, and that you're good borrower. And lastly, have you worked out all the costs involved in moving house or remortgaging, from lenders' fees, broker fees, stamp duty and legal fees? Obviously stamp duty being the big killer, because when you're in the £1 million plus properties, the stamp duty is very high. If you've got other property in the background, you're potentially going to have to pay even higher stamp duty. So if you need help working out all these points, please get in touch. Make a comment below, PM me, and I'll make sure you get that mortgage that you desire. See you soon.